I became a Baha'i, I guess, fairly quickly, and as soon as I became a Baha'i, I was in the LA Youth Workshop, and right after that, I was on a bus going across the country, going into juvenile halls and prisons and inner city rec centers. I'd spent some time in juvenile halls as a client, per se, and I knew, I was 15 years old and I knew where those kids were. And I knew what they were going through.
Youth now have the freedom to choose, the freedom to do whatever they want, but a lot of them go their own direction.
There's kids out there that are cutting themselves, that are getting involved with drugs, sex, fighting, crazy things. And the answer, the medicine is in what Baha'u'llah brings. And when they really embrace that and submit to that, everything else just falls into place.
I now was seeing the light at the end of the tunnel because I had discovered Baha'u'llah. That for me is what got me through some very dark times and very tough times, because I knew that Baha'u'llah was watching me. And I knew that Baha'u'llah was keeping me on track. And I knew that Baha'u'llah had been watching me before I was a Baha'i. I knew that the only difference between me and some of those guys is that I received the message a little bit quicker than them. And I knew that it was my duty to give them that message. And it was my bounty to give them that message. It was a gift that I was able to give them.
A teenager is the sign of an industrialized society. In other parts of the world, you go from kid to adult, there's no teenager. And so youth in our society have a blessing, an opportunity to really step up to the pump. And there's a vehicle now with the Institute process for them to arise.
And I think a lot of times as youth and as young adults, we forget about this gift that we have to share with people. I can only imagine that if the first person that I asked the faith about hadn't told me, I can only imagine what life would be like if I had never heard the word Baha'i or the word Baha'u'llah. And I was in the next world and I walked up to that person and I said, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you let me know? I needed it. And that's the power of youth. It's not just that we're young and we're not married and we don't have jobs and this and that so we can go out and teach in the summers. No, it's that we have this bounty and honor to reach out to people not only in our age group but people that are older than us, and people see us and they feel that fire, they feel that spirit of the youth and young adults to do this, to go out there, be vocal, not be afraid, be courageous. And that's all it is, it's the courage.
There are people that died so that we could say Baha'u'llah's name. You could just say Baha'u'llah died, that gave their physical life, the ultimate sacrifice. And I think we have to be willing to be embarrassed, ostracized, living martyrdom, and being that warrior for Baha'u'llah.
All we need to know is that we're in love with Baha'u'llah, and why are we in love with Baha'u'llah, and how do you share that with people? And that's what we need as Baha'i youth and young adults, because that fire and that drive, you can lose that. But when you're a youth, it's there, man. It's there, and it's what drives your whole life. That's all you got, is those dreams, is that drive, that fire, that inspiration. You combine that with the message of Baha'u'llah, you're unstoppable, man. You're unstoppable, just like the Dawnbreakers. We're the spiritual descendant of Dawnbreakers. That's not just type. That's real. That's the lifeblood of this faith. That's what keeps this faith going. That's what keeps me going. And Baha'i youth need to know that their power is beyond anything that can be described.